Are the days of buying an old Optiplex computer and turning it into a budget gaming PC dead? No, they are not. This Dell Optiplex can play just about any game that is out right now, whether that's at 1080p or 1440p. Yes, an Optiplex that can handle 1440p gaming. Today I'm going to be going over all the parts that make up this simple build, exactly how to put it together by yourself, and I'll show you the performance numbers at the end of the video. But before all that, I want to thank SuperCDK for sponsoring this video. I have been building computers for a good amount of time, and I'm always needing to buy window keys to activate my builds. Whether it's my new personal PC or a PC flip, I use SuperCDK all the time. They offer Windows 10, Windows 11, and they even have discounted game keys. Just add whatever you want to your cart and be sure to use the discount code SPLA to save some extra money on checkout. And activating the key is super simple, just a little copy and paste action. Thank you SuperCDK for sponsoring today's video, and be sure to visit them down below to activate your PC today. So this is a Dell Optiplex 7040 that I found on eBay, and it cost me exactly $171.59. which includes tax and shipping. This is a deal you can go and buy right now, so it will be linked down below. Let's open it up and see what we got. The listing states that it's an Intel i7 CPU, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a 1 terabyte hard drive. So let's hope everything checks out. So here's a little Optiplex. Why is it already unboxed? Well, to tell you the truth, I did record me unboxing it. Somehow I lost all the footage. So everyone smash a like and drop a RIP footage in the comments for me. Anyways, the seller packaged it really well. They used a ton of little bubble wrap, and there's even some paper. So A+ to the seller on the shipping. And they also left a little customer care card basically saying, hey, if you have any problems, contact us before leaving a bad review. This is pretty nice to see. Shows that they care about the customer experience. My first impressions of this Optiplex, since I've already seen it off camera technically, it's pretty clean and it's pretty tiny. There's a little scuff right here, but other than that, it's in great shape and it looks like it should work. Alrighty, moment of truth. Let's go a bit. Oh, we get a post right away. Okay. Looks like it's trying to load into Windows. Since we're in Windows, we might as well verify the specs. Let's check out the performance tab. Yep, looks like we got the i7 6700, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a little 1 terabyte hard drive. Well, at least we got what we paid for. All right, let's crack this bad boy open and see what we can do with it. Taking off the side panel is super easy. Just a little latch and it comes right up. And then it looks like this, you just pull it open. You have access to all the internals. Pretty nice. It's like nice, wide and open. Gives you a clear view for building and doing upgrades. So first thing when I open this little computer, I noticed the front IO is baked into the motherboard. So it's proprietary, it's stuck in this case, but right next to that is a little NVMe slot. And that brings us to our first upgrade. So the Optiplex came with a 1 terabyte hard drive, and those are nice for mass storage for games and such, but I'm gonna be throwing in a little 1 terabyte NVMe. You don't have to go 1 terabyte. This is just what I had on hand. Then over that, we got 4 RAM slots. It's good to see that we're running dual channel RAM in here. It's 16 gigabytes of DDR4. I believe it's clocked at 2133 megahertz. And next to that, just a little CPU cooler. It's pretty basic. It looks clean though, not a whole lot of dust. It does look like we even have some extra SATA connections. You can put some 2.5-inch drives and then just the one 3.5-inch, and then the power supply. Let's see what that is. 240 watt. Ooh, 80 plus bronze, but does it have the connections for our GPU? I'm honestly not seeing any. Just says extra SATA connections. And for the GPU, it's a little RTX 3060. I only paid $70 for this thing, but it does require one 8-pin PCIe connector. And as I was saying, it doesn't look like we have any. I have this little box of wires, has some adapters in it. Let's see if I have anything in there. Oh, I have a SATA, that's a 6-pin. Yeah, I guess I only have SATA to 6-pin. Well, I'll see you in a couple days. I'm gonna order an adapter and then hopefully this 3060 works in this little Optiplex. All right, a few days have passed. I think this is the adapter. Booyah, baby. I ordered a 2-pack just in case I need another one anytime. But now let's put all these parts in the Optiplex. Let's just open this bad boy back up. Alrighty, first let's install this little adapter. Alrighty, plugging it into the SATA connectors. Bro, what did I just say? I meant to say SATA connections, but you guys heard what I said. Alright, now we're removing the PCIe brackets to install this little RTX 3060. And we are in, almost. Come on, baby. Now it's installed. Now I'm plugging in the little 8-pin PCIe connector. GPU is powered. Last thing to do is just install this little SSD. Bam, SSD screwed down. This Optiplex is ready to go. Everyone watching it now, like and comment on the vid. I'm about to plug it in. If I blow up, I love you guys. Okay, DisplayPort cable plugged in, power cable plugged in. Here's the, oh no, I hear something spinning against the fans right now. Let's open up the side panel. I think those were the GPU fans. Yeah, the little SATA connector just got stuck in the GPU fan. Okay, this should be a better positioning. Now we shouldn't have any cables in the way. Alrighty, moment of truth. Here's the monitor. Where's the little power button? Somewhere. I can't see. Right there. Okay. Yep, fans are spinning. Nothing is blowing up. I'm still alive. I hear nothing in the fans. Come on, monitor. Come on, baby. Let's give it some time. Maybe it's trying to recognize the new SSD. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think it's giving enough power to the 3060. All right, I'm gonna mess with this for a little bit, and then hopefully I come back to you and we can play some games on it. Literally, as I turned the camera off and took my mic off, we got a post. So now I'm gonna install some games on it, move the Windows over to the SSD. I will show you how to do that as well, and then we will see how this bad boy performs. So to move Windows over from a hard drive to an SSD, you're gonna want a flash drive with the Windows install media on it. Then just plug that into the PC, turn it on, and then just spam delete so you can load into the BIOS. Actually, it's F12 for these, load into the boot options, and you just change the boot options so it boots from that little flash drive. Then once you load in here, you just click next, install now. When you get to this screen on your keyboard, just hit Shift and F10 at the same exact time. Then you type disk part list disk, then select the disk that you want to wipe. So we're going to select disk 0 because that's the hard drive. We're going to do clean. That completely wipes the hard drive. After that drive is clean, you can just hit exit, exit again, then just click through custom, and then make sure you select your SSD. I know mine was titled drive 1, and then it's just a basic Windows install. Now we can game. I first ran Fortnite at 1080p with performance mode. I had 100% res scale with far view distance, and everything else was off. Right off the bat, it's not running too bad, and low-key, I'm really enjoying this game again. I only play it when I benchmark computers, but lately it's been way more enjoyable than any other game I've been testing. So it handles Fortnite very well. It had an average of 192 FPS, but I did notice the i7 was basically at 80 degrees the whole time. It's not super hot, but let's see what a fresh application of thermal paste does. Wow, after taking off the CPU cooler, you can see the previous thermal paste is completely dried up. There was barely any on the CPU, and the paste on the cooler, if you even really want to call it paste, it's all hard and just flaky. I'm putting some Arctic thermal paste on, and this should definitely help with those temps and maybe even give us some extra frames. Let's see if it did anything to the Fortnite performance. Right away, it was a huge difference. The temps never went above 71 degrees, but it mostly hovered around 67. So the CPU was running cooler, but for some reason the game was running a little bit worse than before. If you compare the frame graphs, you can see the first test was way more stable compared to test number 2 after the thermal paste swap. And with that difference, we somehow averaged a little bit less, but hey, at least it's running cooler. In Apex Legends, I tested with all low settings and had the texture streaming and filtering options both set to 4. I just ran a team deathmatch to get more playtime, so you can expect slightly different numbers for a full online BR lobby. It handled it pretty smoothly. Even though I was honestly kind of getting shit on, we still averaged 197 FPS. Then I decided to test with all high settings, but since the GPU was working harder, it produced more heat, then in turn made the CPU run a little warmer. But other than that, the game looked great and it averaged 155 FPS. I didn't buy the new Modern Warfare, so we're testing the free game, which is Warzone. I tested at 1080p with the recommended settings and selected performance, and by the looks of it, we are running with basically all high settings, and I turned off the texture streaming budget and turned all the shadow settings to low. Let's see how it does. Well, I kind of suck at Warzone, but the computer did alright. It's obvious there is a bottleneck with this system. which come on, we all knew it was gonna happen, and there's probably at least one person that's commented about it by now. So with the bad CPU bottleneck that the system has, it really shows in a game like Warzone. So we were very limited here and only averaged 55 FPS. Now let's move to some more demanding titles and also put this Optiplex up against 1440p. I will only mention the 1440p numbers, but the 1080p FPS numbers will be on the screen as well. In Borderlands 3 at 1440p with all high settings, I was super impressed. The game looked great and it ran really smooth too. We averaged 76 FPS, and that's perfect for a story mode type of game. In Cyberpunk 2077 at 1440p with all high settings, we averaged 46 FPS. It wasn't quite the 60 FPS mark that I was hoping for, but oh well. And you know, I had to at least try to run ray tracing. So I did. I set the ray tracing settings to high, and it was pretty bad to say the least. It wasn't completely unplayable, but as you can see, it was super choppy, and we only averaged 17 FPS. I'd rather just play at high settings with ray tracing off. Hogwarts Legacy is the last game I'm testing, and it's also the newest game, so keep that in mind. The performance was pretty meh. The computer couldn't quite handle high settings, it was just super stuttery, so we settled with medium settings, and that smoothed out the gameplay, and we averaged 60 FPS right on the dot. So although the 1440p numbers aren't anything crazy, the fact that an Optiplex is even playing games at 1440p is crazy enough for me. If you just stick with 1080p, you will get way better performance, and if you pair the RTX 3060 with a better CPU to get rid of that bad bottleneck, then you will have yourself a really capable machine. This little Optiplex is a great option for anyone wanting to build a super simple gaming PC, but if you can avoid it, I recommend to not pair these parts together just because of the bottleneck. But for those of you interested, I will have everything linked down below that I used. With all that being said, if you enjoyed the video, then smash the like button, subscribe if you loved it, and if you want to see a pretty crazy $140 gaming PC using the same i7 in this Optiplex, then watch this video next. Peace.